Alabama gets set to take on South Florida. This was a pivotal game last year for the Crimson Tide in their season. And we're going to get into why it's a pivotal game this year for Alabama. What this game means for the Crimson Tide as they march forward to try to win their 19th national championship. We're going to do that, though, right after this. Like and subscribe, thumbs up, roll tide, everybody. Let's get this thing going. All right. When you see that elephant and you hear the whistling, you know it's time for our show, Elephant in the Room. He's Jake Coker. I'm Mick Gillispie, brought to you by MyBookie. And Jake, I know you're on a heater right now, as they say, and you need to go to mybookie.ag and use the promo code NEXTROUND to double your initial deposit. That's right. MyBookie will double your initial deposit when you use the code NEXTROUND. Kick off the season with mybookie.ag. And double your initial deposit using the word next round. What's up, man?
Man, hanging in there. Still trying to get over this whatever I got, but I'm done with toughing it out. I've got the meds going now.
Yeah,
I've tapped out.
You thought that you were just going to be able to outlast this thing.
Yep. 7 days in, it ain't happening anymore.
That's crazy too. Someone so young and strong, you know, and I mean, just
young bull can't. The young bull can't survive.
You know what though? The thing that people can't say is that you don't play hurt. I mean, you showed up to the tailgate show. You were feeling sick last week, and then I saw you on Monday on our radio show, and then we did this the Elephant in the Room, and here you are again. So it's not like it slowed you down at all.
Yeah, I mean, if only people knew how much I was sick while I was playing football, you know, how many more touchdowns I'd have thrown.
Hey, you guys would have won states if Coach would have put you in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I heard you could throw a football a quarter mile.
Oh, yeah. Clear over Mobile Bay.
Oh man, well I'm glad that you're starting to feel better, because no fun when you get stuck with being sick like that. But you know what, Bama's got a big game coming up, and last year Jalen Milroe kind of won over Nick Sabin and the team. And I felt like it was a couple factors. First off, he got benched. Maybe it was fair, maybe it wasn't. And then from what I understand, he didn't react well. He got suspended for that game, but it was quiet. But we saw him on the sideline, and he was cheering on his teammates. Things didn't go great, but Alabama won the game. And I think everyone knew afterwards, like, hey, we saw what the other guys could do. We saw what he could do. And from that point on, he was the starting quarterback. And I thought he conducted himself as a leader. And honestly, we were both on this early. I mean, he was the right guy for the job, and he still is. And I know that there's people that don't believe that, but I don't know how. I mean, like, to me, it's obvious.
I still don't understand the he can't throw narrative. I just don't. I don't get it. I've seen him make a lot of throws. I mean, there may be some, as Jimbo used to call them, firm with air throws that here and there he might miss. But I mean, his play has been pretty elite since 5 games in last year. And again, he's got the talent to make all the throws. He has made all the big throws. And honestly, we're a few bad snaps away from the national championship last year. And so, again, this whole narrative that he can't throw just kind of shocks me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I guess I look at it and I go, okay, the guy is a leader. He's won the big games, beat Georgia last year, dealt with some center issues, made one of the biggest passes in the history of Alabama football on the Gravedigger. You've heard of that one before.
Yeah, and hell of a throw.
Yeah, right. And I mean, like, why can't we just all, as Alabama fans, get on the same page and just say, hey, it's his team. Bryce Young isn't coming back.
No, I mean, look, he's not coming back, but again, we're in a good spot. We got one of the best college quarterbacks in the country, and I mean, I'm not just saying that because he plays at Alabama. He's explosive. He makes plays, creates time in the pocket. I just don't know what else you could ask for. We win 63-0 last week. Again, there were a lot of things to clean up. It was our first game. A lot of guys playing together that hadn't played together before, and so a lot of it's expected. And we didn't really. We had, again, 3 drives in a row. You score off on 2 plays. There's really not a whole lot that you can gather from that when you're that much better than the team you're playing. So, I expect South Florida to be a little bit better than Western Kentucky. Hopefully it's another game where we, kind of just throttle them and get a better feel for the personnel in the game, and guys get more and more looks and more experience with each other. But, Jalen Milroe is not, he's one of the strengths of our team. Carried us last year in a lot of different places, especially against LSU. So, to me, there's no better quarterback, for this team or this situation, and you got no better backup in Ty Simpson.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. And then, how about this? When the third quarterback came in, it was Tyler Buckner. It was Tyler. Help me out here. It's not Tyler Buckner. It's Dylan Lonergan. Come on, Jake, you gotta help me here. Instead of Austin Mack. What did that tell you about the Boar when we saw like the progression last game that Lonergan was ahead of Mack?
Yeah, Dylan's been there for a few years, and I've heard he is extremely talented. Austin Mack, he's coming in from Washington. He's familiar with the Boar and that system. I say that. He was, a true freshman last year, so he didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare. But, he's had a little time in that system. He's been playing with those guys for a lot longer, even though I know he lost a lot of those guys in the portal. He's still familiar with the Alabama program. So Austin's got a lot to kind of, mold to or get used to. But, I think it's all about who the best man is going to play the most. And I think Dylan, again, from all I've heard, has as much arm talent as anybody on that field. It's just a matter of experience and getting his timing down.
Mm-hmm. If someone can spin it, what does that mean? If they can spin it, you heard that term before?
Oh yeah, tight spirals. RPMs, baby.
Did they ever say that about you? Did they say that Coker can spin it?
Oh yeah, a spinner of the ball, spinner of the pigskin.
Who's the best? Who's the best at doing that you saw?
When I was in Arizona, I remember walking to the locker room before we had a preseason game against San Diego, and I saw some dude with long hair just, throwing missiles. He's just standing there, with his feet. He's just flat-footed, standing like the 5 and throwing to somebody on like the 40. And the ball's like, it's just driving, spinning like crazy. And I was like, who the hell is that? And turned out it was Zach Mettenberger.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And that guy could throw the hell out of the ball.
That's funny.
Had a cannon.
Yeah.
But in terms of just watching somebody throw a ball far, I've never seen anybody throw the ball as far as Kelvin Benjamin. The guy was built like a freaking windmill, and he'd throw it like sidearm 85 yards.
Really?
It was, yeah, it was one of the craziest things you'll ever see. Just rear back and throw it from down here, and the ball would go 85 yards. It just never land. But yeah, he's probably the guy I've seen throw the furthest. Now, it didn't look pretty, but it went a long way.
Yeah, but it went a long way. If you're not part of Cover Crimson, covercrimson.com, sign up for $1. The All-American Report with Mike Johnson, exclusive content on covercrimson.com available right now. Other exclusive content shows there. You got the message board and everything else. So check that out. And $1. I mean, and if you get the annual membership, you get a Cover Crimson t-shirt right now too. And Jake doesn't even have one of those. So that's how exclusive those are. They did ask for our shirt sizes today. So that normally means something good.
There we go. There we go.
That normally means that something is coming in the mail. Last time it was that Roback. You remember the Roback box?
Oh yeah.
You guys I wore my Roback yesterday, but room 20% off your first order at roback.com. You wore the Alabama Roback shirt last week to do the tailgate show.
Yeah, I'll probably be wearing it again this Friday.
It's lucky. It hasn't given up a point yet.
You know what? You're right about that. We'll have to start sporting that every Friday.
Have you ever had a lucky, like Alabama lucky anything? And we might have talked about this before, but I'm going to tell you, when I was in school in the Shula era, all your lucky stuff wasn't lucky. Then we got Sabin. We'd wear all of our lucky stuff.
You're always having to buy new stuff.
Yeah, one of my friends goes, "We got Sabin. We don't even need our lucky whatever anymore. Lucky shirt, lucky socks, lucky hat." You know.
I wore a different suit to. I wore the same suit for every game, and then the national championship. For some reason, I wore a different suit. And we had chapel every pregame, and I always sat next to Ryan Kelly. We used to always go to chapel together, and I wore that different suit, and I made Ryan cuss in church. He's like, "What the hell are you doing? You know, same suit all year, and then you change it up."
I can't believe you would do something like that.
It was, I didn't think about it, but. At the same time, you like to think it's not all luck, but I'll take luck when I can get it.
Yeah, right. Me too, man. Sometimes they say you'd rather be lucky than good.
Hey, I'll take luck if that's what it takes to win. I'll take it all day.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, look at Auburn and Jordan-Hare. They live on that.
Oh yeah. Recruiting wise. Not going to be a huge weekend as far as big visitors, but according to our friend Andrew Bone with On3, Bama Online, he says Caleb Cunningham, the 5-star wide receiver from Mississippi, the guy that was committed to Ole Miss, backed out, and then committed to Alabama, is going to be in town for this game. Now, the Georgia game is going to have a boatload of big-time players, but this is a guy I feel like Alabama really has to keep, He's still taking other visits. And I know you shut your recruiting down once you committed to Florida State. And a lot of that has to do with just that you feel like, hey, if I give my word to somebody, I just want to keep that word. But do you think it makes sense at all that maybe you should have made some more visits before you signed? Or, how looking back now, or if you were like a recruit now, how would you handle that? And what advice would you give Cunningham?
Nowadays it's different because the money. I mean, honestly, I'd what I'd do is give old Jimmy Sexton a call, ask him how he uses leverage, and and listen to him, because he's got it pretty much figured out. Run the offers up around the whole country, and then pick the place you want to go to. No, but I don't know. Nowadays, I mean, I picked a school out of high school that well, first of all, Florida State offered me first. That meant a lot. And then Alabama came on later, but I really appreciated that from Jimbo and felt like he was being honest with me. So I committed. I think, you got to take your time if you got a lot of offers. I mean, you definitely have to take your time. I don't understand the commitment early unless you feel like you're going to be committed. Do your homework first before you commit, and then and maybe that's a leverage tool. I don't know. But I'd go meet with all these guys, and of course now, I guess you got to try to figure out what NIL money you're looking at. But I mean, again, I'd be picking the school where I think I'll perform the best. What's going to provide me the most in terms of I'm not going to say services, but provide me the best opportunity, to be the best player I can be, and then hopefully the money is good, or comparable to what other schools are offering me. But again, if I'm going to, Florida State and they're paying me $100,000 and Ohio State comes in with $1.5 million, it's kind of hard to. It'd be hard to say no to that.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. I mean, I agree. You get $3 million like Caleb Downs. I mean, that's $3 million. I mean, that's
yeah.
that's pretty good money.
Yeah. That's a pretty good guarantee. And Ohio State, I mean, we talk trash about Ohio State, but it's not a bad school to play football for.
Mm-mm. No.
And $3 million on top of that. That's hard to say no to.
Some pretty good scratch right there.
I could make that last.
Yeah. Yeah. Alabama is, I've heard they're starting to build up their NIL. Sabin, as much as I love Coach Sabin, he definitely wasn't into the NIL thing. And I know this firsthand. I mean, I just know people that were running the NIL and trying to get Alabama more involved early on, and he just wasn't going to have it. And having Kalen DeBoer there now, and Sabin didn't really need it. I mean, you could walk in and say, "Hey, man, you can go play with me. I'm gonna get you to the NFL." I saw a list the other day of all these multi-millionaire players that played at Alabama. And he had that track record, or you can go somewhere else and roll the dice. Nobody did a better job working with 5-stars than him. But there wasn't a whole lot of foresight as far as what was coming. And I think that's definitely an area where Alabama has had to work really hard to try to get back in the game. And a lot of people can't stand it when we talk about NIL because we know that it's bullcrap anyway, that there's no rules. Not bullcrap that the guys aren't compensated, but that it's, a Wild West right now. But at the same time, if that's the rules of the game, you got to be ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have touched on this. I don't know how many times, but the one thing that Alabama does provide and is the marketability if you do perform well on the field. Because at that point, if you're Jalen Milroe, you're Bryce Young, these big name guys, you're going to get a lot of attention and a lot of eyeballs. And Alabama is doing a great job of promoting their players and putting them on a platform to make NIL money. I don't know what Jalen Milroe's NIL net worth is now or his NIL income is now, but I mean, I saw him everywhere over the summertime. I mean, it was like, football season was over, but he was everywhere at every event. I mean, and Alabama played a big role in getting him there and having him involved so that, he could, again, make the most he could possibly make in this, era of college football.
Right. And help the university in the process. So I've been watching these videos that Alabama posts on their website and social media. And our friend Ryan Anderson was on one. He did a fantastic job. It was cool. He spoke to the team. And I saw Trent Richardson was on one. riding around and like looking at the facility and then talking to the team and everything else. Somebody's missing though.
I'll ride around and watch practice.
Are you gonna you got to do one, man? Like I want to see it. We're almost 100 episodes in. You're ready to do this. I need you to go on the Ryan Williams, Jalen Mbakwe podcast too.
I'm a behind the scenes guy.
No, man. I want to see you out there, like giving the guy like pep talk and throwing some balls, like catching, doing like you're not looking, but you're looking like, some high fives.
I imagine that podcast is going to do pretty well.
Yeah, it is. Coach Sabin, let's get into this, I guess, before we bail out of here today. Coach Sabin's going to have the field retired after him. 2014 team's going to be honored. And these are two things that I know that are near and dear to your heart. 2014, you were on the team, and you were the backup quarterback that year, right?
Yep.
And then 2000, and then Nick Saban. I mean, you played for Nick. I mean, it's going to be Sabin Field now.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm looking forward to seeing that go down. Really happy for Coach. I mean, it's they could probably name a few more things after him, in the coming years. But I mean, obviously that's well deserved, and he's the best to ever do it. I don't think there'll ever be anybody close to him as far as production and character. He's golly, man, helped out some of his players. He's always been helpful, kind of a guiding figure for so many. They could name a few more buildings and statues or monuments after him around that campus.
If they said, "Hey, Jake, we want you to get up and talk about Coach and present this award, or this honor to him," because he's going to be at Denny Chimes and then he's going to be inside the football stadium, what would you say?
I'd say, Ryan Anderson, would you like to say a few words? I don't know. Pretty much a longer-winded version of what I just said. I mean, you know me. I'm not a speech guy.
So was there ever a time when were you in the locker room and you had to get up and just kind of like get everybody, like just say something? And were you the guy that when you said something, everybody was just like this?
No, I rarely got up there and just made a speech. Usually if I was doing some intense talking, it was on the sideline or in practice. I'm not a speech guy.
Mm-hmm. You didn't want to be that guy that just like starts spouting off and then people were like, what is he talking about?
When you're the guy talking all the time, the words carry less weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
true. But
talk softly and carry a big stick. Have you ever heard that term before?
Yes, I have.
That's right. Who was that said that?
Theodore Roosevelt.
Theodore Roosevelt, the same guy that brought us the teddy bear.
Yep, I thought you were about to say Ted Kennedy. I was like, oh my God.
Ted Kennedy.
I thought you were about to say that.
I drove by Reese 10-Hor Hall the other day, where I took my political science classes back in college on campus. We were right by it, and I was like, man, I spent so much time in that place. They would kill me if I said Ted Kennedy.
Yeah, I'm sure you did spend so much time in there.
I did. Yeah. Back in the day, man, I actually had to go to class.
Oh, here we go.
Was there people doing your homework for you, or did you have to do it?
No, hell no. I wish.
You're like some real smart guy, like, Simon's going to show up, Jake, and he'll be in your class sitting next to you. Like helping you take your tests and stuff.
Luckily, I was able to handle it.
What was the hardest class you had at Alabama?
Hell, I don't know. I mean, I got my master's in marketing. It was all, I mean, pretty much statistics driven.
You got a master's?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I mean, why are you acting so surprised there, pal?
I'm shocked.
What do you have? You got a master's?
No, I took some classes and I did communications, and I went pro, man. I was like, to that point where I was like, man, I gotta make money. It just gets to the point where you're just like, enough education. I gotta have some cash.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
I liked it though. Look, I loved school. It was great.
we did have. I had one class, a marketing class, where we had to make a commercial for Golden Flake. I wish I still had it.
Yeah, that would be great content.
Man, it was a great commercial. It was me and Austin Shepard, and we made it with Scott Cochran. He came in there and did a little promo for us, so that pretty much guaranteed an A+.
Did you see where he was back on campus?
Oh yeah, I think he's going to be there Saturday.
No, that's cool.
I hope.
That's really cool.
Yeah, man, I'm proud of him. He's doing a lot. I think he's doing a lot of things.
I
think he's doing a lot. A lot of things that give him a lot of purpose.
Yeah. Need to have him on here. It was cool to see him in the football building again.
Yeah, man, he's a beloved figure in that building.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves Cochran.
Yeah, everybody does. All right, buddy. Well, look, tailgate show. You and I will be at Unique Bar, which is the old Egan's on the Strip, 1 to 3 on Friday. If any of you guys are around, swing by and say hi to us. And look, man, make sure you're a part of Cover Crimson too. $1 gets you a membership, message board. Do the annual membership. You get a shirt, and they get that out to you really fast. It's a cool T-shirt. But you get the message board. We also have exclusive content on there. So, be part of what we're doing here. And we appreciate all of you guys that already are. And if you are a member, go check out the All-American Report with Mike Johnson. New show today. Did one earlier this week, but he gives a good breakdown of the offensive line and everything else. So we'll talk soon, man.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Me too, man. And you guys, don't forget this as well, that mybookie.ag, to double your initial deposit, all you got to do is use the promo code next round. That's right. MyBookie will double your initial deposit when you use the promo code next round. Kick off the season with mybookie.ag and double your initial deposit with the promo code next round. Talk to you guys again soon. Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide.